Hello, if you are just learning Rust or you're sharpening your skills, you are at the right place. Today we are going to do a Rust scraper, which is essentially a web scraper but written in a Rust language. So stay tuned. The first step we need to do to create any kind of project in Rust is to create a new project. So we say cargo new Rust scraper, and we have created our project. So we could do we can do cd and get into our scraper. So to write something, you obviously need an editor. If you're familiar with if you're working on a different, you can always go for Nano gedit, but I preferably say go for Visual Studio Code. This is really a good editor to work on. So we say open folder here. We go to our folder, that means which is like D drive, Rust, Scraper, and we select it. So we have already some extension installed which is called Rust Analyzer. So today we are going to do with web scraping. One thing which I want to tell you is that most of the functions that we are going to use today are asynchronous. The difference between synchronous and asynchronous is that when you run something synchronously, everything is executed by step. So if an instruction is synchronous, like for example a while loop, it will not execute the next statement till this statement is completed. But asynchronous doesn't work like this. So it will still execute the next statement before this statement is executed. But today we are not going to focus on the asynchronous behavior because we have a thing called asynchronous wait, which will make the asynchronous statement synchronous for us. So let's dive into. The first most important library that we have to look is Tokyo. So what does Tokyo do for us is that as we are going to use the asynchronous function, we need to make our main as asynchronous as well. So for example, I'm going to write here the Tokyo.main, which is basically making our main asynchronous, and we are going to write async as well here, which is essentially doing the same. Now there are some issues that firstly it says Tokyo is not able to found, which is obviously correct. So what we are going to do is that cargo add Tokyo, and this is how you add crates in your Rust language. So now basically we added our Tokyo. Now it is able to find the main, but you see it is not able to find the main in Tokyo. That means we are not using the Tokyo to its full power. So to do that, what we need to do is that we need to put this kind of bracket, right, version here. So we say ver version is equal to, and the version is provided here, and we write x, we paste this here, and then we write features. So what features that you want to use from this? Sometimes it's okay just to do something, but here we have to write basically the full features that we have to use. So we write here in this full, and that means we are going to use the full features from the Tokyo library, and then we save this, and now basically it is able to find main. Good, we have achieved our first job. Now first thing, we need a URL. If you know about our URL, so we do basically let is URL equal to I'm not sure whether you are familiar with this URL or not, so we are going to use this URL for today, right? And this is how it HTML looks like. So basically we are going to pass this HTML in our code base. So we should get some links and some URL and some title in our when we run basically. So now we have to write HTTPS, which is basically say hypertext transfer protocol. I know you are a bit familiar with it because yeah, you guys are really intelligent, right? So we have our URL with us. Now what we need to do is basically let body. So when we hit this URL, we obviously get a response. So all this Google, YouTube based on request response architecture. You request something, you get a response. So what we are going to do is that we are trying to get a response from this URL. For that, you need to use a library called request. Don't ask me why it is not named request, it is named request. I don't know, but this is what you need to use. And then basically there's a function called get in this library, which you need to use URL. And as I told you, this is a asynchronous function, so you had to use await, and then use a question mark for here, and then a semicolon, right? The thing is this, it will still not find your request thingy because it's again a crate. It is not provided by default. So basically what you need to do is that you need to go to cargo add request, and then you just add it. Now basically you need to use this in your library, so you do use request, and then you are done. You put semicolon here and you are basically added the request to your program, and now it should able to find everything. So we have got the body, so we have basically got the response. Now basically we need to parse this response. Let's call it a response because this is response. So we have to parse this response into string. So what we are going to do is that, so we are going to say let body is equal to response dot text dot, again this is a asynchronous function, so we await, and again it can return an error, so we do a proper error handling. Now we have our body as a string. The body is again HTML. As I shown you, it looks something like this. So basically we need to parse our HTML string into a proper structured HTML DOM. To do that, we use called let document is equal to HTML. Now you would say, obviously it won't find anything called HTML because we haven't added it, right? So but HTML lies in a crate called scraper. So what you need to do again is that you are at cargo called scraper, SCRPER, and then you press enter. So you added scraper. Now you use this scraper into your thing, use because Rust Analyzer is still building it, it will take a bit of time, and then you use scraper, and then you need two libraries from here. You need one is HTML, the other one you need is selector. This you will see that I'm going to use in the next line. So now basically use HTML, you use parse document, and then you parse your body into this. So basically you will pass your body and then it should pass it for you. You can see that it shows that the question mark is not working, obviously because we haven't given anything result. So basically you know that the first thing is this, and then the first thing is the OK, and then you write dyn error, right? It should work, and then basically it will add the error thingy. It says no, this is wrong, because the thing is this, we don't need the error from the request library, we need the error from std library, and that's why you need to use std colon, and then the thing is called error, and then you have error. Okay, now this is the correct error I want, and now it should work. So it says dyn is in a lowercase. Okay, yes, because I have to write dyn small, and now error is resolved, and then you are able to find this, and then you have to write OK in the end, because it means if everything works, that means you are able to execute everything correctly. Okay, so now the result is gone. Obviously there's a yellow line because it says that the document is not being used right now. The next step is basically what you want to do. So what I want to do is that let selector, not select, let selector, and I will write a small s here because I am creating a variable right now, and then I will say selector colon parse. What I want to parse is, right now I just want to parse A. I will show you why I'm just parsing A, and then I'm going to use unwrap here, and then I'm done. So unwrap is also like a bad error handling case, because here we just check that okay, our program is going to return a good case. If it doesn't, then we basically cause an exception, but it is fine for now, because the other way is to use a question mark or basically a lot of things which you can do, but it's okay. Unwrap is you can still use, it's not a very bad code to do. Now why I'm using like this, so for example you see that the most of the code is written in A tag and is just written directly here. There is no h1 h2, so we don't need to worry about it. We just see we will get the URL from here and we will get the text from here. Okay, so now we have created a selector as well. Now we have to create a CSV. So for the CSV you need, I don't know why this is done, but I think we don't need this, so we can actually delete this here for now. Right, and now what we need to do is basically we need to create a CSV. So what we need to do is need to add cargo add CSV. So we added our CSV crate here, and then basically what we are going to use from CSV crate is the writer, because we are going to create write to a CSV whatever our findings are. So what we do is that we create a writer here. It will help us here. So now let mute WTR is equal to writer from path articles dot CSV, and obviously you have to do proper header handling, so you put this and the question mark. Right now your writer, and then you write the header to the writer, writer dot write record, and then basically you pass enter, and then you pass basically a reference to it, and then a square bracket, so you write title, and the other header you need is the URL. Okay, now you put a question mark and you put enter. Now I can use unwrap here as well, and it will work fine. I'm telling you, it's not a problem. Now we are going to parse our selected document that we have already done, right? To do that, basically we need to go through a for loop. So for element in our document dot select, what we want to pass is our selector, which is basically will be passed as a reference. And then we are going to put our brackets here because we are going to do the document over and over again. We get the title from the document. Title is equal to element dot text part of it. We collect everything, so not this thing, we collect everything into a basically a vec, and then we write underscore here, so accept everything, and then basically put the brackets here and then join it as a string. This is what I want, and enter, and this is we are done. So basically this is the first part of it. The second part is the link part of it. So we get the link. For this we need element dot value dot attribute, which is nothing but link obviously lies in href part of it, so we will pass href of it, and then we say if we are not able to find something, then we just pass unwrap or, and we pass a default value which is nothing but like empty string, and then we close it down. So this is what our basically title and link are. Now the important thing is that we are going to print it. So we are saying say print ln, and then we are say title, and then bracket and the link, and again the bracket, and then we are going to pass over here our title comma link, right? And we are done. We are also going to write the same thing in our CSV. This is what our initial plan was. So for that you use write record, and then you use here percentage, and then you use this thing, and then basically you write title here, and then you write link, but link needs to be converted into toString. Let me see what the link is. So link is actually already string, so I think it should be fine. It shows an error. So link is basically, oh, we need a string, and this is a reference of string. So what we do is that we pass to string. Okay, so this is done. Now what we need to do one more thing, which is very important. You have to see that we have to pass a question mark here. Now the most important thing we need to do is that we have to flush everything, otherwise this won't work, because we have to make sure that we write the program closed. Now to end the program, we say program, and then we say scraping is done. Scraping is done. Now there's a yellow line here, which usually means that it returns something. So it returns let underscore. So if you don't want to use something which it returns and it's just showing a warning to you, you can always write underscore. That means you're going to accept it, but you're not going to use it anywhere. Now we don't have any more errors in our code, so we can just do cargo run. Okay. Meanwhile it is building, I want to inform you that if you want to look for more Rust mini projects, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel and like the video. It will help me and help you as well. Okay, I hope you are able to understand everything till now, and if you have any questions, obviously you can write in the comment section and I will sure that I will reply to your answers. And we just wait for more seconds. So it is building the Tokyo, which I was explaining you initially, that is the most important library here, and we are very close to our building time, and 157, 158, 159, 160, and we are done. And now you will see a lot of output in the terminal. So it says okay, it says request process didn't access successfully. It something says request kind of builder source empty host. Okay, that's really strange. Which line the error is? The errors, okay, yeah, we don't need to use self here. This was the error it was showing you, and we do clear and we do again do a cargo run, and it is just building you everything. So it says again the empty host. That's strange. We have used the request correctly. We just need to see if we are using the correct version of request or we are using the wrong version of request. We are at 0.12, which seems fine to me. Let's do one thing. So we say here request is, we just copy this line here, we replace the version to this one, and instead of full we basically write JSON here because we just want this features. Okay, and then basically main.rust everything is same. It shows request, which is fine, which I don't worry about it. Okay, let's see cls cargo run. So sometimes it is not able to find few things. It still says error request error kind of builder source empty host. Maybe it is coming, basically I'm trying to access something which is not available maybe. So it says that I'm going to access this. Yeah, this is the issue because I've written HTTPS twice here, and I think this was the issue because it was not able to access the URL. Okay, so we have written the https blog.rust.this.org correctly. Fine. Now we go to run again. Oh, so you see all these things which is basically we wanted. Let's look at our CSV, which is also created, and this is we wanted. So do you see this Rust blog means you can always do it pretty, like for example you can use trim to remove all these useless spaces. Like for example, if I go to my code here in main.rust, I have the string variable, and instead of title I can use dot trim here, so it will remove all the extra spaces we want we have. So let's do cargo.run again. Link to string means that is okay. Mismatch types, okay, that's strange. It says okay. It says okay. Oh, wow. Okay, it works now. And then we do article CSV. Now basically every space you are seeing is gone. Now it's look more readable, and you can see that if you want to see the Rust blog, you have the link here. If you want to see the Rust, you have this link here. If you want to see install, you have this link here. And this is called the scraping, basically getting the useful information out of a whole website, and then now you can just go through each link that you wanted. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, have a nice day. Bye bye.